In the last part of this video, I showed you guys how I modeled this arcane style environment in Blender, and in the second part, I'm going to show you the rest of the process, which is the texturing part. So let's just get right into it. Oh, and before starting the video, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and do subscribe for more content like this, and let's begin. So for the texturing, there were two ways I could go about this. Number one was I could go for the realistic type of textures, and number two was I could go for comic style like this one. But to create this arcane sort of look, I needed to find a good balance between the realistic and the cartoon shader. Not completely realistic and not completely cartoonish. Just a good balance and blend between the two. So I started experimenting with some different sort of shaders, some cartoon shaders, and I also tried some painting shaders. We're using Voronoi texture and noise texture and mixing them together, but none of them really seemed to work really well in this case. After a bit of searching, I came across this video on YouTube. And this is actually a really great tutorial. I would suggest you to go and watch if you want to achieve this type of look. But this technique is not exactly like the arcane texture, because obviously it's all hand painted, so you can't really generate hand painted stuff with procedural textures. But this toon shader works really well in this case, and it reacts to lighting almost in a 2D type of cartoon style shader. Another thing is that this shader only works with cycles, so you can't use it in EV, which was actually a bad news for me because I originally wanted to go with EV so I could save up some rendering time. But I switched to cycles and then I applied the toon shader. Toon shader looked really good, but there was one problem with it, and that was that I couldn't add the roughness and metallic parameters of the texture. So for that, I added a principal BSDF, connected all of the texture set to the principal BSDF, and added that into the toon shader using a mixed texture. And that actually worked really well to get that sort of mix between the two textures. It wasn't too cartoonish or too realistic. It was just a good blend between the two. To add some more details to the materials, I also added ambient occlusion to them, and I used that same ambient occlusion node to add some rust into the depths of the metal materials. And this was the same technique I used for all of the textures. I just modified them a little bit, adding some small details here and there. Other than that, that was pretty much it for the texturing part. And now it was time to add some more details to the scene. I started deleting the low poly assets that I had modeled and started replacing them with some high quality ones from Quixel Bridge. I added some crate boxes here and there, some cardboards on the floor, and some different boxes lying around here and there. I also added some decals to create some more details on the walls and on the floor. And from here on out, it was all about adding some more details to the scene. I added some decals to the wall, some graffiti to the wall, added some dirt decal to the floor as well. Then I modeled some more details on the walls. this weird sort of design thing on the wall. I don't really know what it is, but I've seen it in a lot of arcane artworks, so I decided to replicate that as well. And I also applied a bronze texture to it as well. I also decided to add some reference to the original show by including different models from the actual show, like this monkey box from Jinx, this flying skateboard that Echo uses, Jinx's gun, and just small details like this. And I placed the models here and there to just fill up the scene and make it seem less empty. And I also downloaded this Jinx Wanted poster from Google and added that to the scene by placing them on the walls and just making them lie down on the floor. For this broken glass, it was actually supposed to be this fighting room where Jinx goes and fights with the machine. So to create this broken effect, I just added a plane and then used the knife tool to add some cuts in between them, and then deleted the faces in between to make it look like a broken glass kind of thing. And for the glass texture, I just used a glass shader, and for the color, I used a Voronoi texture with a color ramp, and I added blue, green, and purple color to the color ramp to get that sort of random color effect. And then I also added a spotlight with a pink light behind it to make it seem like the light was coming from inside of the room. Now at this point, I didn't make any major changes. It was all about fixing some small issues here and there and experimenting with different lighting techniques and stuff. And after that, this is what I ended up with. Now I still wasn't happy with how it turned out, so I spent another 2 hours on it. And after that, I ended up with the final render, which was this image. Now single image was good, but I actually wanted to create an animation to make you feel like that you were actually walking through the street. So I spent another 2 hours animating the camera and just rendering it for almost 12 hours. And after that, this was the final animation that I ended up with. Enjoy. So yeah, that was the final result. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like and do subscribe for more videos like this. And I hope I'll see you in the next one.